start up.
Yeah, we already live a little like.
Yeah. I was just trying to get the YouTube to go live also.
Okay.
Latrice said she gonna tap in today. I told her.
Oh, cool.
What's her girl name? Keon. She's from
Dallas.
Oh, she's from Dallas. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought she was from San Antonio. But nevertheless, only the best and nobody stressed. But I was saying, did anybody get a chance to see the Air Water show this week? Because today's the last day, or was it yesterday?
I don't know.
I think it's 3 days. Friday, Saturday.
It might be today. I was with State Rep earlier, so he said he was on his way down there. So
yeah, that's I mean, you could see it from the west side if you're up high enough.
Right. That's what he was saying. He was on his way to the rooftop to check it out. Yeah.
So what y'all got cooking? Who got some news for us? So to say. What happened to you, Barbara? Heard you a minute ago. Hello. I lost everybody.
Can you hear me? I'm here.
Can hear you now.
Let me see who else is on. See if my risers are on, my young people on.
Oh, that's Angelique. Okay. We see you. Got you. Kiona, she's on. Kiona, we got a fellow.
I'm on for Westside Rising.
We got you, Dr. O. We got I was telling Kiona, we got a fellow Texan on too.
Okay. I'm on for it.
She's Latrice Cook. She's on and she has a radio station down in San Antonio. I mean, I keep saying San Antonio, in Austin. I guess I keep getting stuff on San Antonio. But in Austin, Texas, yeah. So we're gonna get a chance to chop it up. What's going on in Texas? Because,
okay, awesome.
You know, some things. What's his name? Congressman. What's her name? She passed away just recently. You there, Latrice? Trying to see you start. I never made it down. I don't know why every time I go through trying to see you on the show, on the Zoom, I get a bunch of problems. Which one I go in this? Where I get the X?
Yeah.
But look what happens.
And then got it.
Okay, got it right there because it keeps bouncing me out. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's right. Because it hit me.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, now I can see everybody. So as I was saying, we got a Texas connection today. Latrice Cook gonna come on from Austin. And we're gonna chop it up. She said she was here about a week or so ago.
Oh, word?
Yeah. She said she was here and she reached out to me, but I didn't hear anything from her. So I don't know, maybe misconnection. I tell you what, we're gonna talk about. We went out on the boat, y'all. We had white knuckle experience with the with the speedboat. It was literally a speedboat, double engine, double Mercury engine. That just was hitting them waves and everything.
Yeah, I was in the back holding on like I was on a roller coaster. You know what I mean?
White knuckle experience, as they say. But, but you know, we got a great city, man. If you look at everything that we have, you know, we went down the river, the North Branch, the South Branch, you know, maybe a few blocks here and there. But a lot of people out, you know. It's so unusual now that we have, what do we want to call them? River rats? because they literally they're on the side of the river, man.
Oh, rats? We have rats out
No,
there?
I'm talking about the people. That's not. I'm talking about the people lounged up on the side of the river. That was never a pastime in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, well, they built it, yeah.
You know, maybe by a few, but now, you know, everybody takes advantage of the river now. It used to be the lakefront. Well, they do that also. But there must have been thousands of people lined up and down the river with the lawn chairs and activities and on the river and canoes and boats and I mean, you name it. There's like a not a resurgence, but a whole new activity of river activities. I want to say that's going on downtown. People, nobody goes up on the top side of downtown anymore. They go down by the lower side where nobody can see where they're at. You know, they're down there having fun. But yeah, we had a great experience. We went out on the lake. I think maybe about a couple miles out from the shore, because we went out by the lighthouse and we went out by one of what they call the water cribs, where they actually bring in the water that's pumped back so that we can have fresh water, and they pump it through the what is the chlorine plant or whatever. And then it pumps through the pipes all the way, you know, as far as the suburbs. I think some of the suburbs use lake water and they pay for the usage of it. But we had a really good time. I want to say the weather was nice. Not a lot of people were out, but still, you know, all in all, there was quite a few. And that was on a Thursday evening. You know, I encourage everybody, if you can, get out on the lake and the river and check it out. What else we got going on? Let's see. Bud Billiken. Did anybody get a chance to check out the Bud Billiken parade? That was just one of the highlights for the weekend, and it was the 95th annual Bud Billiken parade. Almost 100 years.
That's crazy.
I know.
Largest African American parade in the country.
Yeah, and it's broadcast all over. I remember when I was a kid in Mobile, they used to see the Bud Billiken. But WGN was broadcast all over. WGN was like a major network. So we would see, you know, Bozo circuits and things like that down there. But yeah. I mean, Bud Billiken parade went off without any incidents, from my understanding. I saw Congressman Davis walking in the parade, and I was talking to someone. I said, "Yeah, I see Danny walking the parade," and they said, "Man, he could walk. He's a walker, man." They said when he said he walked to school back in the day when he was down in Arkansas, he walked miles and miles to school. We see how he's doing it today at the age of what, 81, something like that. So his training has paid off, I guess. His school day training. What else happened yesterday? We said the Blue Angels and the Air and Water Show. The Bud Billiken parade. Something else was going on.
I mean, other than just a bunch of block parties.
Yeah, a lot of block parties.
Bunch of block parties.
Yeah, that's hey.
Yeah, I went down to Al. Al had some.
You over there yesterday? I was gonna go.
In Miss Bertha's.
Yeah.
After that, I
talked to Al. He said, I was on Al's block Friday, and I talked to him, and he said, come on through. So I asked Arnold, you see Arnold? Because he got there about 6. So.
No, I was gone then.
Yeah.
I was over there about the first spot by then.
Yeah, he told me it was nice. Like, yeah, I think I'll have to pass. I wish I would have made it because I promised people I was going to come over there. Yeah. But, hey, can't do everything, y'all. Can't do everything. What's going on with you, Dr. O?
Hey, we're doing well. We're coming to the end of our summer activities, and we pushed the civic meeting back to the last Tuesday of the month because we realized it was going to be held right in the middle of the Democratic National Convention. And as I spoke to other people about it, you know, it was suggested that we push it back because if we really want to get the public officials and elected officials engaged in this process, you know, it probably would be best to compete with them attending the Democratic National Convention. But other than that, we just winding down the summer, attending last of the summer community events, community surveys, you know, and then working internal, just working it out. And I think 290 IPO has something coming up next week.
Tomorrow. Y'all, you're gonna be there tomorrow at the they're gonna talk about the school board.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll be.
You'll be there too. Okay. Yeah, I'm interested to see because they did ask us to partner with them to do a forum.
Oh, okay. Okay.
For the school board, I'm down. We just got to get it on the books because if we don't get it on the books, it ain't gonna matter to me to have it on the books so we know what we're doing. You know.
Yeah, I still need to just get. I mean, obviously, I know about the elected school board, but I just want to get more of an understanding of how they are going to be governing the areas by which these people get elected. You know what I mean? Is it going to be one representative, two or more? You know, how much does their votes weigh into what pieces that they govern, how they are allocated, you know, funds or whatever the case may be. Like, so that's the kind of stuff that I'm going for tomorrow, so I could best understand that.
Where is it?
They're doing it at you can see here. Let's see. What was it? Who's it? Greater Independence Missionary Baptist, 718 South Independence.
Say the address again.
Yeah, it is going to be 718 South Independence.
Oh yeah.
So
that's tomorrow, right?
That is tomorrow from 6 to 7:30.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right about by the expressway there.
Yeah, right off the expressway. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's unusual. It's over there.
Well, you know, so the 290 IPO, you know, which is Crystal is spearheading that. They're really focused on everything west side to west suburb. So whatever the 290 runs through is where they really focus at. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna be there to ask the questions for my better understanding. I'm not even really focused on the candidate so much. I would like to hear, you know, what their intentions are and if they got any real history there. No, that's always good, but I'm more just trying to understand the office itself.
Right.
You know, I still don't understand the purpose of the school board, or if it's just another layer of BS that parents have to go through or the children have to go through in order to get from point A to point B. To me, it's a duplication and it's kind of mundane because I don't understand what their role or what their function is. What's the purpose? How are you helping the kids? You know, I don't understand none of that, and I haven't heard anything about that. What is it? Just another political?
So let's ask this question: what does the current school board do, and the current purpose of the school board?
Don't know. I don't know.
Well, they're supposed to advocate and support all school matters, from my understanding, from the buildings to the teachers to the pay to the children to, well-being, all of that.
I haven't
Mine,
seen any benefits. I haven't seen any change, any things relevant to the kids.
Okay, so it says school board members approve the district's annual multi-billion-dollar budget, determine how schools are measured and held accountable, authorize contracts with third parties to bus students to and from school, clean classrooms and hallways, and even operate entire schools under charter agreements.
wow.
That's what it says school board members do.
Wow, that's a big role. I haven't seen anything. That's a big area to cover. With how many people on the school board?
So I'm looking at the map that they created. This version I'm looking at was October 31st, 2023. They have a new map proposed that would have 7 majority Black districts, 6 Latino districts in which they made up 50% or more of the population, and 5 where 50% or more white people represented. And it says Chicago's Board of Education holds significant power over public schools. And then I just read off all of those things. And it says the board has been appointed by the mayor since 1995. Then the state legislature gave control of Chicago public schools to then Mayor Richard Daley. After Mayor Rum closed 50 schools in 2013, community organizations and the Chicago Teacher Union began fighting for an elected school board. It says Valerie Leonard, who we all know, most of us should know who Valerie Leonard is.
Right.
It says with the Illinois African Americans for Equitable Redistricting Commission, said under mayoral control, school board members were perceived to not be connected to the community. People felt, and I was one of them, like they were out of touch with what the community wanted, and they were only responsible to what the mayor wanted. So after years of advocacy and lobbying, J.B. Pritzker signed into law in 2021 the ability to create a 21-member elected school board with phased-in elections. So under state law, Chicagoans will elect 10 school members from 10 districts in 2024 November. The mayor will appoint the other 11, and in 2026 November, the ones that the mayor put up will, let's say the 10, so it says the 10 appointed members and the school board president will be up for election, and the other 10 will continue serving their 4-year term. So it says going forward, all the members will serve 4-year terms, and the elections will be staggered, with half of the seats up for election every 2 years. So
for a total of how many board members?
So it's going to be 21 elected. This year in November, we're going to be selecting 10. The mayor will be selecting 10 plus the president. And then in 2026, those 10 that were appointed will then move to an elected status. And then every year after that, you will have a 2-year process. So that means the next ones will be up in 2028 and 2030, so on and so forth. And for rotating 10 or 11, if you will.
Right. And these are voluntary positions? Non-paid positions?
Let me see. Let me check it out. Let's see. So it says and this was updated as of April 1st, 2024. State law currently does not allow school board members to be paid, though they can be reimbursed for expenses related to the job. But a bill filed in the state Senate last fall would allow Chicago Board of Education members to be paid. So as of right now, they are unpaid positions, but one of the lawmakers did file to make it a paid position. So I'm trying to see what they are asking for them to be paid. It says, being a CPS board member requires between 25 to 30 hours of work per month, and that involves attending public meetings, briefing with district officials, visiting schools, and reading hundreds of pages of documents every month. One person that they captured here, he talked about, it says, a middle school teacher in the city's Austin neighborhood and the CPS parent who switched careers later in life. She spoke at an event and said there's no way she could serve on the school board when her children were younger and she worked in the restaurant and bar industry. Oh, okay, never mind.
Just a little insight.
Yeah. Let me see. So right now it says that Chicago Public Schools is facing a $391 million deficit next year as federal COVID money is running out. And it says those who are against paying the 21 school board members say it's not time to add any additional costs. It says in Colorado, which experienced a similar debate a few years ago over whether serving on the school board is a job or a civic duty, our opponents argued that the state's underfunded schools should not be spending even small amounts on paying school board members. Ultimately, Colorado lawmakers voted to allow but not require school board members to be compensated. And Denver's elected school board voted to pay newly elected incumbent members up to $33,000 annually. In Los Angeles, elected school board members make up to $125,000 a year. In Indiana, school board members receive a stipend of up to $2,000 per year. And in states like Florida and Nevada, board members are paid a salary. So, I mean, you got a couple options there. Yeah. So we'll see. Ultimately, I think they'll get paid. I mean, even a baby position like mine as an elected, we get $6,000 annually. So, I mean, I'm sure they can figure out how to carve a little bit of money out for them folks to spend their time. I mean, I'm 20 hours a month. I just saw recently that they have some police board positions available. They make $1,000 a month for about 35 to 40 hours a month of work, similar to this role, similar to the community commission role. So ultimately, I do see a path where they're probably going to be making anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month, similar to some of these other roles that are elected bodies, so or appointed bodies, depending on which body it is.
Yeah, they got to do something. People have to have just transportation fare. I mean, money. So what else you got going on? Telling everybody, I said we are already at the 2/3 of the year.
Hell yeah.
Almost.
We about to be what, November?
Three quarters, I'm saying.
What we at? October, November, December. So yeah, we in the last stretch of the year. Mm-hmm. Hey man, for y'all that came up with New Year's resolutions, how that's working out for y'all? Y'all only got 3 months left.
Right.
Where y'all at with it, man?
Right.
How about that?
That's the serious part.
Do people still do resolutions? Do any of y'all still do anything that you propose to change in the upcoming year, then make it happen at all?
I think people just be making it, it sounds good. Well, that sounds like something. To make me feel motivated. Then by the second month of the year, they forgot about it.
That's a possibility.
Well, I
That's
made
all.
most of mine happen. I got back in school to get my master's, so that was one New Year's resolution, was getting back in school. I don't know about anybody else, but yeah, that was one of mine.
Okay, that's cool. That's dope. How's school going for you?
School is going really good. I'm at a B plus. I'm trying to get it up to an A, but
Okay.
it's going pretty good. No
Yeah. What are you in
complaints.
school for?
Huh?
What are you in school for?
Public health.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What are you trying
public
to
health.
do? What are you
Well,
trying to do with
I'm trying to go back into medicine because, as I stated when I first started on this show, I was actually in medical school, and medical school didn't work out, and so I wind up teaching and being placed over the Academy of Health Science for in high school, and now I'm just trying to get back into medicine, but in a different field, and so I'm going into public health.
it? Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm glad you on, Keon, because I got some questions for you.
What questions you got, Steve?
What's happening in Texas? That's what I
Uh,
got. What?
what's happening in Texas? Well, um, we still got our border issues, but other than that, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to the news this week.
Well, I know the congressman woman passed away.
Who?
Congressman, what's her name?
The congresswoman that passed away from Texas.
Sheila Jackson Lee.
Oh,
Hey.
yes, Miss Lee.
She died in Houston. She is from Houston. So they had her funeral. I believe it was maybe last week or the week before, but some of the services they had at Wheeler Avenue in Houston, and then the others they had at Fallbrook, which is like a really huge church in Houston. So yeah.
Mm.
So by the way, Keon, this is that's Latrice Cook. She's down in
Austin.
Austin. yes, yes, indeed. She has a radio show there. We've been corresponding and been back and forth for a couple of years now. And I told her, I said, we got somebody else down there in Texas that's a lot going on. A lot going on.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Nice to meet you as well.
What
part of Texas are you in?
I'm in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start with this. How's the weather in Texas?
Hot, 100 degrees. No
exactly.
wind.
Oh man, last night it was so nice. It was about 52, 54 degrees.
Man, we wish we could get that type of weather down here.
Yeah,
but
you
know what's crazy about that is that I was just in Chicago, so I'm originally from the area, and so I was just there for like from June 15th through June 20th, and it was hotter than hell there while I was there. It was very hot.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. But it's been feeling really good lately. I was just telling I don't know who I was talking to, but anyway, I was telling we were on the lake. And Chicago is a beautiful place, man. We gotta just get out and experience it more, you know. The river, they got a whole new what do you want to call it? Experience. Mm-hmm. You know, thousands of people hang out at the river now. I remember you couldn't hang out at that river. That river was filthy, man. It was nasty. It stunk. And the infamous, what they call the infamous Chicago whitefish would occasionally show up in the river, and people would be totally turned off. But nevertheless, they cleaned it up. It didn't even smell. You know, I'm used to the real pungent smell from the lake and the river, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. We got up to a little speed boat rate running. What would we do? About 40 knots or so?
Yeah, I think
40 miles an hour. Which when you say 40 miles an hour, you know, that ain't nothing. But on the water, that's a lot. Trust me. And then you're turning on a dime and all of that. Oh yeah, it could be a little much. But we had a good time. Weather was good. Weather's been good for the last 5 days?
Ever since I left.
Yeah, right.
Ever since I left. You know, a couple of things I just wanted to say. You know, when I come back there, a lot of times I stay in the downtown area, somewhere, you know, in the vicinity of the Navy Pier or somewhere in there, because when I lived there and was on the south side, you know, it was very, very far and few in between that we would actually spend a lot of time downtown, because it was so much to do in the areas that we lived in. And so when I get there, it's like rediscovering things that I never knew existed when I lived there and as a kid. And so it was really an interesting time, because, you know, a lot of people, they have like the house music and stuff on the beach over off Lake Shore. It was just really some nice, I had some really nice times while I was there. And so I've been talking to people who are actually delegates that are going to be there for the convention, the Democratic convention. And many of them are so excited and asking, hey, where do you go? Where do you go? And I told them, you could go get some of that house music, but I don't know. It's so many terrible stories about Chicago that people are afraid, you know, to move around. And when I'm there, I just have a great time, and I'll move around. As they say, I'll move around the cabin freely. And I've had no incidents, thank God.
Right, man, you only find what you're looking for. That's how it goes.
I know you're right.
That's how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, this is our city, dope. You know, you just don't want to be in the wrong neighborhood after dark. That's real.
Right.
Now that's real. But you know, in the daytime, you be alright. Plenty of stuff to do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We got predators out there. You know. Somebody a few shows back, I said, you know, we don't have a serial killer in Chicago. If it was, why haven't we found them? Because what we have is multiple killers. You know, I mean, thousands of them. You know, and I don't understand how it's hard to find them, because they're all on the block. They all talk. They're all sharing information, talking about what they did. And it's just a matter of time, but sometimes you can preempt all of that, you know, just getting in front of it. But it's the reality. We got a lot of guns out here. We got a lot of killers out here.
Speaking of serial killers, in Austin, Texas, there's something going around there. I saw it on a TikTok. It was talking about the smiley face murders. Have you heard of it, Latrice?
Girl, I have nothing going on in Austin. This is the most civil. I mean, I haven't heard that. I mean, but you know, this area is not, they want it to be bad, I guess, so that they can justify cops shooting the hell out of Black people. But you know, it's really not bad. It's really not a dangerous place. What makes Austin dangerous is that the drugs are so bad, and there's so much abuse of drugs by a lot of middle age and younger people, and they are spazzing out, you know, from hallucinating and this, that, and the other on the drugs, and doing things that are, you know, are ignorant. But as far as just it being really a place where there's we don't have a lot of that here.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it either. Even when they put it on the TikTok, I didn't really see it because I've been to Austin several times. Like I go on Rainy Street and 6th Street all the time, every time I go. And they were saying that the murders were happening on Ladybird Lake, like when party goers would go down Rainy Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. And every time you see a smiley face, there's a body there. That's what they were saying. And I have yet to hear it, on the news,
So I've been
but
in
I saw
Austin
that TikTok.
I've been in Austin for 30 years. My office is right downtown off from Rainy Street on 15th and Trinity. And I've been in that location for about 11 years or 12 years. And I've never experienced or heard of just a lot of crazy like that happening. I mean, there are things that happen everywhere, and in Austin too, where there are people that are randomly, assaulted or murdered, or but not to a real high level like you would hear, but like we've heard about that have happened in the city in Chicago or in other places like that. It's not like that.
No, it's not. I don't think it's as bad as what goes on in Chicago, but yeah, that was the only bad thing that I've heard about Austin, and I was surprised to hear it on a TikTok.
Well, are you and not to take away from the conversation, are you originally from the Dallas area, or?
Yeah, I grew up in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
My
Okay.
brother stays in Austin, and I go there typically once a year for the South by Southwest.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let me ask y'all this: why do you think it's more gun violence in Chicago than there is in Texas, when everybody in Texas can carry their own weapons, open carry and what have you, and pistol it however they do? I don't know. Is it just density of population?
No, I feel like you have more people in Texas that both black and white who are gun enthusiasts, because you got to think about it being more like country areas, people living on acreage, boar hog, doing things like hunting boar hog at night. These are brothers that do this. And also, I think gun carry is crazy here because you have so many Republicans, and I'm not going to just say Republicans, but just people who believe in guns here. And whereas, and I mean, and this is, and you have a lot of more responsible, you have a lot of more people who are responsible gun owners, young and old, black and white, because they have grown up with that. But then you also have many white people right now under the leadership of our wonderful Governor Abbott, and some of these other idiots that are in office who, basically, and I'm not talking about them just because they're Republican or whatever. I'm just talking about white people who have no respect for black life. And so in my mind, you have people like that literally, I just was at the credit union. This is a true story. And I parked my car right next. I'm going into the credit union. I parked my car next to a guy that has a big like Ford F-150. White guy, maybe about 35 or 40, jumps out of the truck with his pistol on his side. And so, and we both are going into the credit union. There's no sense of, he has a gun, none of that. He just walks in. If my son, who is a college graduate, 6'4", clean cut, or the other one who has dreads in thug life in some ways, if they had got out like that, they would have called the police, because that is a real situation in Texas. White people are afforded, there's more privilege here, and it's more fear of who we are, but you have more black people that hold up that kind of behavior. I am totally against being able for people to have open carry. I'm totally against it, because I feel like if open carry that wasn't designed with black folks in mind. Open carry is for white people. And that's the way they really designed it in Texas, because if that was not the truth, then when my son gets out with his pistol as a registered gun owner on his hip, they wouldn't call the police. When I had that very same experience. I don't know what you think, but that's my thought.
We got somebody got their hand up.
Hmm.
We're gonna let them go ahead.
It's me, Mosaic Monk. So I'm glad she said what she said, because I'm going to piggyback off of that. And I've been saying this on this show for about a year or so. People with guns, like proper gun owners, they don't commit crimes like that. You will, if there's 100 people who got their concealed carry, yes, there's a smaller percentage of them to commit crime. That is true. It's a small percentage, but the majority of the people who go through the class, who take the proper precautions, go through training, they don't use their gun unlawfully. So that's why the crime here is happening because the criminals with the gun. It's not the people. It's not the gun owners doing the crime. Some of them are doing crime. I'm not going to lie. Some of those people are doing crime. This is true, but it's a very small percentage. You feel me? It's a very small percentage. And also, you got to look at this too. Now, I like the fact of open carry because when I just came from Vegas not too long ago, I seen whites and blacks open carry. I actually went to a gun shop. I shot an automatic AK-47. You know, we love guns. I'm a gun enthusiast myself, and I've been pulled over. They've asked me that I have a gun on me. I'm like, yep. Sometimes they wanted to see it. Sometimes they didn't. And another thing I want to say about the white people looking at black people, that's just something you're gonna always have to deal with. The majority of the country is white. And I tell my brother this too. We talk about this. I say white people don't got to care about black problems. We got to get out of that mindset. They don't have to care about your problems. They don't. They go home to their white wife, their white neighborhood, their white functions, and then when they watch the news, they see what the news gives them. They go to Twitter, they see all the shenanigans that black people do. What it is, black people. We need as black people. And a lot of people on here disagree with me. We got to hold each other accountable because there's a lot of ignorance in our culture. You feel me? And that ignorance bleeds off into social media. So you can't blame white people for being scared of black people when you got just not too long ago. I think Dr. Dre was telling me about this. The Prada store got vandalized. They vandalized the Prada store. Like it's too much of that. And that puts a stink on all black people. Now you might say, but that's not fair. Well, life ain't fair. You could be having a good life and one day you got diabetes one day. So it's like life isn't fair. Black people got to start holding each other accountable. We need more snitches. We need more people telling on people. And we need to start holding our family members accountable. Like, hey, you know what? You're doing wrong, bro. That you making us look bad. You making us look bad. You feel me? And that's gonna rub off on me. Somebody gonna look at me, who doing good, who got a 9 to 5, because you want to do X, Y, Z. And I'm gonna land my helicopter.
So are white people holding white people accountable?
Again, you gotta stop worrying about what other people worry about. Your own people. You in the Austin community. Hold on, the Austin community.
I have to because I got white people live all around me.
Okay. So do you go up to them and hold them accountable for what Dylan Roof did to them people in Charleston?
Yeah.
Okay, so when hold on, wait a minute. So when the Charleston shooting happened.
Wait a minute, say it again, repeat it. I didn't hear you.
So when the Charleston shooting happened, when that white man walked up, who also had a friend who was black, but when that white man walked into that church in Charleston, did you go to your neighbor and say, why y'all doing this?
I tell them that. Yeah, I do. Believe me.
And why you got white neighbors? If you want to, you should live amongst us. You separated from us.
No, they moved by me. I've been there 31 years. All my neighbors knew.
You got that. You got that one.
Yeah,
but you know, again, white people don't have to understand us. You know what I'm saying? They just don't.
So to the point about white people holding white people accountable, I saw a video most recently where there was an African-American couple that a white man invited to a particular bar. And this was somewhere in the South. I can't remember. The owner of that bar referred to them as niggas. And he told the white man, like, man, you really gonna hang out with them? And then the white man put the owners on blast. Like, I bring my friends to this bar, a bar that I frequent, that I believe has some really good food and da-da-da. And this is how you gonna talk about them? He's like, no, this is unacceptable. This is very unacceptable. And of course, in today's time, when he did that, and it was on Twitter, it went viral, and they getting review bombed, and they damn near gonna end up having to shut down, which is a good thing. So when we talk about white people holding white people accountable, there is at least one example in recent history that I've seen that they are at least doing that in some respects.
Well, the only reason I brought that up because I'm looking at the situation that's going on in England, where there's this mass rioting, and it's against people of color there. And it's so funny how all the black people in England that thought they were so posh and we're Brits and we're English. Now, what are they? You know, we're not like the broken American blacks. We're not like that. And like, really, man, come on. None of this stuff never went away. So to sit there and pretend that you're above the fray, it's like, come on.
Yeah, that's why I tell you all the time, man, just give me my racism in my face, man. I like my racism overt and not covert.
I'm okay with it. Tell you where to go and find it. They got places right there.
Nah, we got it right here.
That's what
I
I'm saying.
mean it right here.
They got places right where it's so prevalent you ain't even got to ask.
Man, they probably got it up there in Gilwood where you at.
They got it.
Show me. Just let me know, man. Just like, damn, why y'all niggas be doing that? I mean, you know what? I appreciate you. Now, I don't know who you're referring to, but I appreciate you for speaking how you speak. And now I know not to fuck with you.
No, they ain't gonna. You ain't gotta mess with them. They gonna still mess with you. That's just the
I don't know about that now.
That's how racism works.
Nah, not as 2024. They are not stepping to no big black men talking crazy. They know what's happening. We not doing that.
They got ways, bro. I'm telling you, they got ways. Nah. Yeah, once they pinpoint you, it is what it is.
Nah, because when we back in the day, when we went to Rolling Metals and racing out stuff, we had some white folks call us niggas. All the cousins beat they ass, and that's what we gonna do today. We standing on business just like they did last year, the anniversary of the white chair. When my man Aquaman, they threw that heavy, but with God, Aquaman jumped in that water, and all the brothers and sisters came and they beat the shit out of white people. We're not doing that no more.
But you got to understand that racism is systemic. It's just not the group of people that you ran into in Rolling Mellows. You know, they got people that got people.
Yeah, but see, that's again, I'm gonna go with Mosaic. I'm piggyback. We don't care about. We know it exists. It does not matter. The only thing that will defeat racism is unity. If black people are not holding each other accountable and coming together to defeat the system, just like they did back in the 60s. They boycotted. They upset the entire economic structure. Once they did that, we will never get back to that space. Because niggas, what you give anybody a little bit more than the bottom half, and they're gonna convert. Our whole thing, the unfortunate is that white people have made it easy for us to want to assimilate. You put a few dollars in a black person's pocket, they gonna leave. You put a few more dollars in their pocket, they gonna assimilate. Now, I don't remember even coming from over there. I ain't never had to. You know what I mean? So
but does
that's
that
the problem.
Don't that happen to all disenfranchised
We don't.
populations?
Yeah, but listen, we again.
But we're the worst. It does happen, but we're the worst. And I agree with what Mosaic said, and also you. I mean, we really, honestly, we don't stick to nothing. We abandon, like he's saying, if we would boycott or do some of the things where our dollar, because our dollar is powerful, but we can't, because we're the biggest consumer out of all the races. Black people are the biggest consumers, and there's a reason why we can't assimilate and really make a difference, because we complain, and we'll go and rally, we'll march when something catastrophic happens in our communities, and 3 months later we retreat. White people know that we're not consistent. They know this. And so that is why when we tell them to change a policy or a law or a procedure, they know that we're going to scream and holler during that catastrophe. But if they wait it out just a little bit, we're going to retreat, because we have no staying power as a group, because nobody wants to give up, having the nice things, or nobody wants to do that anymore. There is no commitment to community power. It's just no commitment to that. They don't. If it's gonna mean that I'm gonna have to sacrifice my Benz or my house or my Jordans or whatever it is that people like, we're not willing to do that.
So what you saying is all for one and one for me. That's it. It's all for one and one for me. That's it. No more for anybody else. That's the way people see it. Because I don't bring this to reality or to the front, like these Asian hair stores. Black women going there all the time, get disrespected, get this, they be right back up in there. I'm like,
oh my God, that's right.
Yeah. Why are you supporting them when they just beat you up and threw you out and cursed you out and took your money? And then I'm like, it makes no sense. I don't understand it. But yeah, you're right in that aspect. But I do see the disenfranchisation, if that is the word, in all sectors, in all newcomers, in all races, because the Hispanics are doing it now. I'm not a Venezuelan. I'm no. I'm not a Vinny. No way. I'm Mexican. Really?
Yeah. But see, here's the deal. This is one of the reasons why we can't get ahead. We keep focusing on everybody. We can't forget them. They don't matter. They don't matter in the grand scheme of, because again, I say this again, when it came to white people, they created the construct of race. That's what we living in. If this is a race, I want my people to be first. And should nobody be upset about that? But the problem is, we've been so conditioned by the structure, the power structure, that if we talk only about Black people, issues, and solutions, everybody else is going to point out, but why we all talk about Black people all the time? What about this? And what about that? So now that's become a part of our everyday language. And now we always feel like we have to be inclusive of everybody to get something, when that's not the case. Because when they want something from us, they come directly to us and say, we need y'all. We need y'all vote. We need y'all organizing strategies. We need y'all energy to help us advance our people. But when we say it's for us and us only, no, y'all doing that wrong. Y'all can. That's not the case. That's the problem. We gotta get away from that. Arnold come bearing gifts. He come with the fruits and veggies.
He comes. I'm gonna make a pickle. Look at this thing, y'all.
Man, these for me?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to pickle them. But no, I only say because I see the same situations in everybody. I get it. When we tend to think, we have a big problem that we gotta address. But on the same note, we ain't the only ones. So don't think we ain't. You know, everybody experiences it. But we need to handle our own problems. But again, we ain't the only ones. Because we always tend to beat ourselves over the head like we the only ones. You know, we ain't the only ones. In any case, I don't care what it is. I've seen every situation happen in every other group. Kiana, you got a question? Got your hand up.
I was going to make a statement earlier about the guns, in regards to the guns, and because Latrice brought up how a gentleman went into the bank. I'm sorry, I forgot to put my hand down because we went way past that. But I was just going to make a statement saying that most of the men in my church carry a gun, and there's always someone in the church building that has one, but they disguise it. And they usually hang out in the back of the church because of what happened with the church. I think it was in Atlanta. Because of what happened with them, there's always someone who has a gun, but they disguise it. And it sounds like to me the guy who she explained walked into the bank with his showing. A lot of those people, they tend to be very cocky and they want something to happen. That's just my personal opinion. Not unless they're a cop or something, or off-duty cop, but they tend to want something to happen, and they want to make a statement. So it's like it's almost a part of their outfit. They want to make a personal statement and have people back down and fear them. Those are the people that we are fearful when it comes to an open carry state. We are fearful of them because if they wake up on the wrong side of the bed that day and get spooked and shoot somebody, I mean, it's going to be on the news. It's going to be headline news. And then, you know, the people who are responsible, like the majority of the men in my church, then they can't, you know, carry a gun. But it does come in handy, you know. You know, you might have something that happens.
Do they walk around with long? Do they walk around with long? Do they walk around with long rifles on over their arms?
No, I haven't seen that. It's usually handguns. Yeah, it's usually handguns. Now, long rifles, that's for like a lot of my family who lives in East Texas. They own farms. And so they've got the long rifles for when they need to, shoot someone, no, not someone, but shoot a fox that may try to come in and get their hens, or shoot, anything that may a predator that may try to come in and eat their farm animals. That's why they have the long rifles. But I don't see anybody walking around with a rifle. It's a handgun mostly. But the handguns are tucked away.
No, I had one of my white neighbors tell me a week ago that our rights are being taken away from me. He said we should be able to walk around with an AR-15 around our shoulders. And I said, well, I guess, but that's kind of overdoing it for Chicago. I said, but I want to walk around with an RPG, a rocket-propelled grenade around my shoulder. He's like, well, hold on. That could blow up people. Really? I said, well, what about if I have a street sweeper? He's like, what's a street sweeper? I said, it's a shotgun that holds about 50 to 100 rounds. I could put slugs or buckshot in it. That'll blow you up too, but if it looks prettier than an RPG to you, I guess I'll go with that. But he told me RPG, I can't have it. I said, man, people walk around with RPGs in the Middle East all day with them over their shoulders. I mean, come on, you want to one up me? I want to one up you. Why can't I have it? He's like, no, that's like you can shoot down aircrafts with that, Steve. I said, well, I might want to shoot down a drone that's got rockets on it that's shooting at me. I don't know. I said, but what we need to do is look at the Constitution and start ratifying some of that, because some of that didn't have a lot of what we're dealing with today in mind. He's like, no. The founding fathers, they saw what was going to happen in the future. Now, this white guy talks to me about 10 o'clock at night. I'm watering my lawn. He's walking his dog. And he's like, no, the founding fathers saw what was going on. The founding fathers saw doggone drones I'm a goddamn engineer. Been an engineer for almost 38 years. I ain't even think about no goddamn drones 10, 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So founding fathers were thinking about that. Drones that shoot rockets. I'm like, come on, man. But I had to tell him, I said, he said the Constitution shouldn't be touched and all this, it's never changed. I said, well, I don't know if you realize about 150, 160 years ago, there was a thing called slavery, and the Constitution was changed then because there was the Emancipation Proclamation that freed people. I said, now think about it. You probably know somebody that's at least 100 years old that was close to that time. And you telling me your liberties about carrying an AR-15 is greater than my liberties if they would let me carry an RPG, or if they would let me carry a street sweeper down the street, or being free as a free, citizen in America, not just because you're black and enslaved. So, I think white people sometimes they tend to think their liberties are better than your liberties, and you just can't have them. I gotta have the
Let me ask. Well, Steve, have you taken your concealed carry class?
No.
Okay, so did he take his concealed carry class?
From what it sounds like, he didn't, because he said we shouldn't have to pay for that. That's an innate God-given right that we should have. That you shouldn't have to pay for a fee or a board card. You should just be able to do it. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, it kind of sounds like he paid for it. He didn't really want to. So I mean, so he has a point. The founding fathers, regardless, they did own slaves. They were racist. And we got to look at it. They were a product of their time. They were a product of their time. So it is what it is with that point. But I agree with him. It should be open carry. You should be able to walk around with an AR-15, because the AR-15 it does a lot of. It can do more damage than a handgun. But I mean, you got handguns with a Glock 17 has 17 plus 1 rounds. That's 18 rounds. An AR-15 has the 30-round magazine. So at the end of the day, it's like you could do the same amount of damage. And then look what happened in Canada. Justin Trudeau, the president of Canada, the prime minister of Canada, he banned handguns. And guess what? There were stabbings went up. Look at London. People will find another way to do what they need to do. They will find another way. And George Washington, one of the most badass generals in the world, that man went through hell fighting the British monarchs. He said, no, this ain't gonna happen again. Every citizen should be able to carry a firearm. And all they had was rifles back then, long guns. So, that's what he's saying. Now, and then you look at other countries. Look, matter of fact, Steve, here go a good example of why we need to be able to carry guns like that, like your neighbor said. Look what happened with Ukraine. Russia invaded Ukraine. Think about the day America get invaded. You're gonna be happy that your neighbor got it. That's the first house you're gonna run to. When you see people parachuting down from the sky, you're gonna run to your neighbor house because you know he got the guns. You know he got that's the first house you're gonna run to. And look, so in Ukraine, them people got their country invaded. They was getting slaughtered. And guess what they started to do, Steve? Give the citizens AK-47s. They said all the citizens meet right here. We finna arm all the citizens of Ukraine with guns. This is why.
Well, our Second Amendment right was created for tyranny, so that we could protect ourselves against our government if they ever wanted to go and practice tyranny. So, I know obviously we have a history of brutality, particularly the white man against people. And that history is firmly embedded in the American culture. And we see that time and time again. And Black people were brought here and taught the ways of the white man. So anything that we do is a part of the conditioning that we have experienced. We have yet to break from that conditioning. And that is what is keeping us in the position. What they have done is they've transcended that brutality in such a way that they can capitalize off of it. So each time they do, so the system only transforms to make sure that the white person benefits from it. I saw something today on Twitter. I love Twitter, man. It was some old black folks, and they was like, black man created the stoplight.
Yeah,
white man created the ticket.
Yeah.
Black man created the light bulb. White man created the electric bill.
The bill.
You know what I mean? Every time the system is, all they do is capitalize. They create the guns, they create the violence that we now exhibit amongst one another, and they create the system to put us back in the modern day slavery. So all we have to do is understand the programming and the system that is being used against us and combat that, but we continue to aid the system by giving them what they want. And we know it. We have enough scholars and enough influential individuals in positions to make a change, but we refuse to band together.
People too comfortable. They're too comfortable in their own black skin. Hate to say it.
I mean, that's part of it too.
But the reality is, again, the man didn't want me to have an RPG. He thought that was nasty. That you could blow people up with that. I'm like, what the hell you can do with a damn AR, bro? You could do some serious damage with that. So why I can't have a choice of how I want to blow people up? I mean, you hate me. That's what I mean. The whole conversation changed then. It was about liberties and we should have the right to and this and that. And I'm like, well, can I carry RPG on my shoulder? Whoa, hold on now. The whole conversation went another direction.
But you know, one of the things that Kiana, you were saying earlier about the guy having that I saw at the credit union that had the pistol on his hip, that, you know, that was more for kind of the way that I described it, was more for like a macho or a person that was looking for trouble or whatever. But this is my thought process, because I have a stepdaughter or ex-stepdaughter who actually, you know, she carries a pistol. She moved to Texas from New Jersey, and she carries a pistol and she enjoys having it out. People almost think it's a cute thing to show people that, you know, it has now become something that people want to show. It's another show off tactic for black people, Hockeys, Chinas. I don't care what race it is. It's like it's all in the same mindset. And then to Mosaic, you know, I hear what you're saying and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. But when you really think about the people and what things look like in our communities, white and black communities, with the level of drugs, people on on dip and on meth and all this kind of stuff. And I'm talking about professionals who I work with people that have gone to prison and their families. That's what I do for a living. And so I mean, I see what prison is starting to look like. The white people's kids are going to prison now because of drug abuse and all these things. So that's why they made all of these new laws and stuff for reformation and rehabilitation, because their kids were starting to go to prison. And so when you think about people on drugs the way they are, and that these are some professionals who have gotten involved in drugs, who are licensed gun owners and have the license to carry, do you really want them to have that type of right? You know, when we start really talking about this gun thing, you know, and the mindset of people, the mental health issues, all the things, there are a lot of people that are getting licensed. And now in Texas, it's things that you don't have to have. You can just buy a gun now.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you really start thinking about this, you know, I'm not one of these. I understand guns and all this kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't support that, because what the hell? What are we teaching the kids? You know, I mean, what is this? I mean, it's just out of control. And even when you think about what happened when Trump was leaving office, and how all those people ran through the White House, white racists, white, you know, people who believe in white supremacy. What about those people? Go ahead.
Listen, Latrice, the new candidate for vice president, Republican guy, said that never happened.
Well, you know, he probably was high and doesn't remember it because, you know, they can do that. But at the end of the day, we know that that happened for real. We were able to see it with our own eyes. We're not being delusional, maybe his ass is. But at the end of the day, my thing is that they ran in, and just think about people who have the mindset of hating us just on sight. And had they been in the way of these folk, that there could have been a mass killing that was basically supported because of our laws and our gun laws. And so I really think about stuff like that.
Well,
Okay,
you
so
got to look at it like this. Nobody hate black people more than black people. You can trust me.
Get out of here. Get out of here,
no-
Mosaic. I don't agree with that. That's not
Wait,
true.
hold on. Don't be emotional,
Okay.
sister. Be
I'm
poised.
not emotional. I'm good.
No. You kind of just, you know, your volume went up a little bit. But no.
Baby, I'm loud. Don't worry about it. I'm loud.
I'm from Chicago. Okay. I lived in the Austin community, which is the highest crime rate. Anytime a gun was ever pulled on me, it was a black man who did it. Okay? I've been robbed twice. I've been shot at about 4 or 5 times with friends and with my brothers. I'm not worried about this spooky white boogeyman that I gotta keep it a hundun. I gotta keep it a honey bun honeycomb. Most of the older black people are scared of white people. Like y'all.
I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
I grew up on 103rd and Prairie. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay, well, if you grew up on 103rd and Prairie, it's a guy who lived up north who just got killed out there by a black man. I'm not worried about no white man shooting me. I'm not worried about no cop shooting me.
Because you don't live in Texas. You don't live in Texas.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. But you are. You said you don't want to do something that you're doing. That's a double entendre. You understand what I'm saying? So check it out. If you look at the news, I'm good. If you look at the news, it's more black people killing in Texas, killing each other than a white man is. That's just the facts. I don't care where you go. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's more black on black crime than any white man. Yes. Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true.
Not true.
Not true.
There's a snake in my boot. Y'all getting hot underneath the cup. Y'all getting me hot under.
That's not true.
You're
getting loud, brother.
That's not true. Just pull up the statistics and show your screen.
Y'all jumping on me. Y'all jumping me. Square up.
No, Mosaic. Nobody's jumping you, but nobody's jumping you. But I will say I do agree with Latrice. I think there needs to be some form of drug testing every 6 months in order to keep your license. Now, what I will say is I do believe that you should be able to carry a gun, and here's why I believe that. Now, I don't carry a gun, but here's why I believe that. My kids, I think it was my second year teaching, my kids, we were sitting around talking because, they tell me everything, even things they shouldn't tell me. And I was talking about maybe I should, I was thinking about, I can't even remember how we got onto this conversation, but they were talking about guns, and they said that they were going to go, I heard one of my students say that they were going to go get a gun as soon as they turned 18. And I said, well, you don't need to go get a gun. I said, are you responsible enough? I kept banter. I kept going back and forth with them. And I said, do you even have the money to go get a gun? And so they said, Miss, you can purchase a gun on Instagram. And I said, what? And they basically said that you can get a gun for cheap on Instagram. They showed me the website. I did report it to the school, but they showed me the website. And just about anybody can go purchase a gun. They're not going to give you they're not going to card you, because it's basically it's a, what do you call it? It's a hot gun. They've got the serial number burned off.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
illegal.
It is very illegal, but these kids can get a hold of it.
Exactly.
Right, but
It's
that has
very
nothing to do
illegal.
with the law, though. You talk, he's talking
But
about
what I'm
something that's
saying
illegal.
is, I think everybody should be able to carry a gun if they feel it is necessary. And from what I've seen in the school, it is very much so necessary, because you never know if you're going to end up with somebody who's cracked out, who wants to take you out, or if it's a student who just so happened to go buy a gun off the internet because they're 16 and they wanna floss. So I think everybody should be able to carry a gun. Now, if you are a card toting member, I think you should get tested, to make sure that you are not your mental clarity is in check.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
Why you smoking weed and carrying a doggone AK?
Now, I done a lot of things off weed. It don't make you crazy. Now, if you're doing crack, meth, PCP, now that's the stuff you know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't even be able to do an application off the leaf. I done PCP. I was whacked out of my mind.
Yeah, nobody's killing anybody off weed. Never. It's never.
What hour was that? How many hours ago was that?
Now, what hour? It was some years ago, Steve. Some years.
Wrong vegetables.
Well, just to change it up just a little bit, I'm just curious to how people are feeling about Biden, getting out of the race and putting and Kamala being our presidential candidate, possibly, they're gonna, endorse her. So I'm just curious about other people's, thought process about it.
I hate it with a passion. That is not how democracy is supposed to work. We knew that Biden was cognitively losing himself in 2022, and we continue to parade that man out instead of just having him drop in. Honestly, and I hate it with a passion. As people in a democratic society, we're supposed to be able to pick who we wanted to represent us. That time had came and went, and Biden was the choice. And the unfortunate is that he couldn't no longer go on. So it almost reeks of we're going to make decisions for you, and you're just going to accept it. So that's the thing. You know what I mean? I will say this. I think Trump did a huge disservice to himself by choosing J.D. Vance. I think that more than anything, in her selection of Tim Walz is going to lose him the election. And I think Kamala will be the next president, and that's cool. That's neither here nor there. I'm still waiting to really hear what the platform is all about and trying to see how it's going to advance America as a whole. But ultimately, I just don't like that part of it. Just the upfront having to.
But there was nothing illegal done.
Nah, it's not illegal, but it's still in the eyes of folks that believe in democracy. That is not the democratic way to do things. Yes. The democratic way would have been to have a mini convention in which you had some candidates. Now, it would have been a very quick process and a very quick turnaround, but allowing the people to decide who they want to represent them is the way that democracy is supposed to work.
Well, I'm gonna have to use the illustrious words of Michelle Obama. When they go low, you shit on their ass. That's what you do, and that's what we gotta do. Because it ain't
I don't think she said that.
We tired of this trash stuff. we tired of it. I am. Democrats turn up. Democrats do this. No. And all that man, you talk about democracy. What was democracy when he told people to go down there and kill his own vice president? Was that the Democratic way? Was that the whatever kind of way? I don't know.
Well, polling indicated that neither Biden nor Trump was acceptable.
For sure.
But, you know, things played out the way it was. Now the Republican side wish they would have.
No, that's a fact, though.
That's the fact.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's
Yeah,
it, yeah.
well, give the Democratic Party the credit that,
Yeah,
you know, they
yeah.
made the change.
For making a change. I mean, but like I say, that's just the only thing for me. I mean, otherwise, it's just one of those things.
But now we still harping on, is she black enough? Is she black enough? What does that really mean? What does that mean? We don't ask white people, are you white enough? We don't never say that. You know, I mean, come on now, we beyond that. We always had this discussion when it came to education. It's like, people used to tell you, what do you say? Man, why you reading books? Why you doing
why you speak so white?
It's like, what are you saying?
Well, that's what happened when you lost your history. Black people are the ones that educated the Europeans, whether it was the Moors first, or even for us being the inventors and the intellectuals that we are naturally are. We've always been head and shoulders above white people. What they have done very well is capitalize on our ability. They've done that very well.
Hence the Olympics, the breakdance competition.
And they've done that very well.
I'm like, look at this. Man, well. Chopper Dude would be rolling over in his grave, man. I'm like, well, man, hey, Chopper Dude. I said, you see the Australian lady, she's a professor of breakdancing, but I could not find anything to research this on. It's obvious. Crazy. You out here doing kangaroo bunny hop. Crazy. I'm like, what?
I can't think of the guy's name that is on that hosts with you, Steve. But I just wanted to tell him congratulations on your monumental graduation, and that's a great thing. And I also really liked your spin. I liked exactly what you said about the candidates. I really like that.
Yeah, like I say, it's just that's my only issue with it. You know, it is what it is. So
the only thing I gotta say is in the period of all chaos and adversity, you got DeAndre being logistically correct. Like I said, Michelle Obama said, when they go low, they low enough shit on.
Man, I mean, you know, I just obviously as a person involved in politics, you just really want to see the system upheld the way that it's supposed to. And if the people, and so here's one of the things that I find to be most interesting. When you really think about it, in actuality, we live in a republic, right? We don't live in a democracy. We have a democratic way about doing things in which we involve people and try to elevate the voice of the people, but we live in a republic. The republic, in and of itself, is a system that will preserve the republic. So we have to get away from thinking.
It even says that in the pledge for the republic, for
which it stands. Right, which is, for me, I'm a person, I look at the flag, I salute the flag, but I'm not sitting there finna chant with anybody about our flag that has never served us well. It has given us a better life and afforded us a better life than those that are even from the country in which they took us from, right? But I just can't put phantom sitting and upholding this, what I don't see to be the truth in American society. You know what I mean? There is no equality, especially for folks of different colors. Like our country is ran on a color spectrum. White at the top, Asian next, Latino next, black at the bottom. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So you got until it changes for the people that actually built this country, you can't sit and tell me that. That's my problem. My gripe is that we continue to move further and further away from what it should be for the people that actually built this country. That's a hard thing to accept, but it is what it is, though.
And I actually kind of think the Democratic Party, even as a person who I'm, a former elected official, and I really think the Democratic Party sucks. I feel like there's been a lot of things that have, that they have sabotaged Black people who were running under the Democratic, under the Democratic banner, and I can tell you that personally. And so this is really hard for me because I feel like we're being given somebody in no shade on Kamala, but it's like we almost don't have a choice. And
let's put it into this perspective. What if the president had died?
She would have took over, but I thought
that's a different thing.
I'm not gonna lie to you. From the outset, I always believed they were going to elevate Kamala. I said that I thought he was going to do 2 terms, or at minimum do half the term and put her in there so we can get a good look at how she would preside over this country. I never in my wildest believed that a woman would be elected president unless some white man, died in office to do so, to be honest. And now we have a really great opportunity to put a woman at Black, white, or otherwise. So that's a good thing because we're going to see if a woman can actually make some shit happen for this country. That in and of itself is going to be groundbreaking for the USA. But I thought that process would look like him either doing 2 years or at least 6 years, and her doing the other 2, so we can really get a good idea of her. I didn't think that it would come like this.
What would happen in the 2 years with him?
I never believed that he would finish his term out. I never believed.
What would he be doing?
He would have did exactly what he's doing now. He would have been experiencing decline or possibly died. Now, I don't want to say die because I don't want to wish that on anybody. I want them to live their full, purposeful life. But I always thought that there was going to be something that would have happened to him, and in which she would have to take over. I would have preferred in 2022 when we start to see the decline that they said, or even him himself said, listen, I can no longer do this. We're gonna have to elevate Kamala, and then she would have took over, gave us an example of what we could expect, and then because at this point I just feel like we're gonna get the same playbook just with a different person.
I'm gonna show y'all a picture right here. This is a picture of Kamala and Obama doing what? It's about 15, 20 years ago. Y'all see it? Can y'all see her in the forefront?
Well, I like that.
No, I don't see anything. Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, y'all see it now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the Zoom, you should be able to see that.
Well, what made it possible for Kamala Harris was the threat from the Black women organizations and organizing efforts that simply threatened the Democratic Party politically, said that they would burn the House down if they overlooked the vice president. Looking forward to 2028, there was always a concern of whether Kamala Harris would be simply asked to just go by the wayside with Biden, then Galvin Newsom, possibly or potentially Josh Shapiro, Andy Buzar out of Kentucky, and Roy Cooper out of North Carolina. So it was more so about 28 than it was 24. But circumstances turned out to be what it was. So it more or less put her in a favorable position.
Man, and salute to Joe Biden for being able to accomplish something that was a lifelong dream. Like, that's what I love life because of that. When you set your intention and then you put action behind it and you get what you're looking for, there is no better feeling in this life that anybody can ever experience than doing that. And so he was able to accomplish something that he fought for his lifetime, and that's super dope. And now he gets to, go off into the sunset, relax, you know what I mean? And be bodyguarded the rest of whatever life he has remaining and just chill, So that's pretty cool.
Well, it was said by breath of life in him to get to both Kamala Harris before his, homegoing. So
I would think he would.
he's looking forward to his vote.
I was gonna say, you know what? Speaking to what you just mentioned about the black organizations, black women especially, wanting to, they said they're gonna burn the house down if she didn't get a fair shot. I think that's interesting. So I went out to lunch today with State Rep Ford, and something came up during the lunch that I found to be very interesting. That he said, because we are actually working on Clark School. There's a play lot over there, and we're trying to expand the play lot for the school, for the children, obviously, whether we add a basketball court or a soccer field or something, just to make it more expansive for the children to play. And we were trying to come up with some ideas and thoughts about how his position, he can help us with capital investment. And one of the things that he mentioned, he said, man, look, I've been living on the island since 2000 odd. And my district spans from here to Western Springs. He said, the community doesn't know how to use me. He said, Western Springs, they use me the way I'm supposed to be used. And I thought that was interesting because what it ultimately comes back to is this idea that we don't organize enough to put the pressure on these folks to do what we need to get done. You know what I mean? And so to hear you say that speaks to where we supposed to be with our organizing efforts. We're supposed to do that same thing with every single office that exists on a ballot. We have to get these folks to understand that we're serious. And that's only going to take collective action.
Well, each one of these elected officials, or some of them, in their legislative constitutional office, are allowed through the budgetary process member initiative. Now, if we do not exert political pressure, them themselves, since an individual may live in an area, to just say, I know what's needed over there, and actually do a member initiative to bring those resources to that area. Now, whether we know it or not, or understand the process or not, or exert political pressure or not. So that cuts a lot of ways. I would only say in that regard.
Right.
It ain't as simple, because many instances when you approach it, which many of them do get requests or ask for resources, being that, again, it's needed in their district, wherever they're in that district where it's needed. So they have an opportunity to work with that body of residents or constituents and bring the resources to that district. But there may be some personality in it. That's all I got to say in that regard.
Right.
So, it's good to know all of that, but sometimes personalities get in the way of progress.
Yeah. I hear you too.
There's numerous instances of that.
I hear you.
Him at school,
Uh-huh.
just received a member initiative by the U.S. Congress over millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for that effort, it may or may not have been. And then previous to that development, there was what Alderman had set at the seat at the table where the county and private investment was going to develop that.
Mm-hmm.
All the community was interested in development.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we have to be careful sometimes when we throw it out there either or, but just again, work collaboratively toward a plan that's not based off either or.
Right.
Development for the betterment of that community or district.
Right. Essentially, and that's what he was speaking to.
And that's all I'm interested.
Right. And that's what he was speaking to ultimately, because he was saying, like, we need to get more members of the island, because the island feels like they've been forgotten. You know what I mean? And obviously it's disconnected from the larger Austin community, if you will, because of the expressway. But the folks over there don't want to be as involved. So what he was saying was, like, we need more of that collective action. We need to folks, if they want to develop a plan, let's develop it, and then I can go back to the legislator and get it. You know what I mean? But because you know, he's looking at it like, I don't know what to bring here because I don't know what they want. I don't want to just go off and do something, you know. So,
but why wouldn't he ask? Why would he have like a town hall and say, "Hey, I'm here. What would you people like from me?"
Well, that's what we were discussing is our next step. So there is across the street from the school is a vacant lot that has sat vacant for some time. We were trying to discuss ways in which it could be purchased, whether through a TIF allocation or eminent domain by CPS or whatever, and we are exhausting different types of options. Well, today we talked about the ability to make it a mixed-use property in which we could potentially do a referendum to raise a bit of taxes on the island area for the purchase of that lot, and then we would lease the lot to the school for their parking, while also trying to convince one of our neighborhood organizations to put a satellite location there. So that's something that we just discussed. But in order to do any of that, that would take planning and partnership from the community to see if they will be open to that. So that will be something.
Civic Association.
Oh, absolutely. Nate is the president. Nate Stubbs is the president of the Island Civic Association. We go really strong. We have monthly meetings. You know, right now we're leading an Island Youth Ambassador program. This is the second year of it, and so we really want to continue to grow some of these things out. But we really want more input from the community over there.
We can go over there and do the survey.
Yeah.
Let's survey the island.
Yeah.
Just as simple as that.
Yeah.
And then you have real-time input and information that could be categorized in the different categories.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a number of ways that can, it can happen, but the greatest way I would say is simply to survey it or with the, the form we're using now.
Mm-hmm.
Under the 40 blocks, and what we're doing now with the family. What's the other one, Kent? Up there?
McCann.
Yeah, I mean, we can go over there and do it over there.
Yeah, they call it the West Island. Over there where Bill lives, they call that the East Island.
The East Island.
Yeah, let's do that, and then let LaShawn know.
Yeah.
And if he works collaboratively with that effort, that gives him the kind of documentation, because this is real time, what people are really thinking. It has to be in Spanish as well as English.
Oh man, we got everything on the island.
Yeah, ain't that many Spanish people.
Yeah, it's very diverse.
Is it the majority?
Nah, not the majority. Not for sure, not majority, but it's very diverse.
It ain't
very diverse.
That much black, I tell you that.
Yeah, man. We got Italian over there. We got black. We got white. We have Asian Indian. Yeah. We have Latin. I mean, you got it's a whole melting pot over there. That's why I actually like it. We got a very diverse, but we need things though. Like we got the little movie. We got the movie studio over there. We got the McLaren shop over there. We got the hospital, Hartgrove. We got a little
McDonald's.
We got a little district. Yeah, we got the McDonald's, but I'm thinking more about the strip area that we got right there. You know, so we're trying to figure out ways to build and bring more things that could be useful. If it's gonna be a contained place, like all these is over there. Yep. Yeah.
You're doing SSA over there. I just thought about what you said.
Interesting.
Having the actual control.
Yeah.
Where the resident control.
Think about that. We send that to Nate.
SSA.
Yeah.
Because anything shorter than an SSA, you're not going to control.
Okay. Yep.
Because Constitution is written when you draw up all these plans to raise some dollars, it will be targeted for specific reasons spelled out. Like what was that? It was in the presentation somewhere later. Oh, see, in the church up north. Remember when she told us about the SSA?
Yeah. No, yeah. We met with consultant
Of the Department of Planning, the head person.
yeah. But we actually had a meeting a week ago regarding the SSA over by me. And a guy came out that's a consultant that
you can leverage a tax via the referendum at the next ballot, the voters fund, just like drying up area, and that's constitution. But again, you have to be organized.
Yeah, we gotta work. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna come up with something, and we're gonna focus down up in that area and try to whatever they want to see. We're gonna work with it and figure it out. I know, like I say, largely we focus on the school, the play lot area for George Clark students, but we want to have something.
For disclosure, my son graduated from George.
Oh.
I'm well familiar.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
I still talk to people over there. Yeah, it's not it is a mixed bag, and everybody have their own thoughts over that. So,
yeah, buddy. Yeah.
You got a lot of racists over there too.
Yeah. I was gonna say a lot of folks want stuff to say the same.
Well, it was called an island because you go over there, you definitely get a punkin head.
It has a history.
That guy Richie Vance is over there.
Okay.
He's still over there with his.
The gentleman that stayed next to the school, the first house on what I can't think of what the.
But Monitor is by the school, I think.
Right next house.
Is Jim Baker live over there? Don't he live over there? No, I thought he lived there. Where you live at? He live on Congress.
So they have new individuals in the Island Civic Association, right?
Oh yeah. We have so Nate is the president. We got a couple treasurers. Yeah, it's all new people. Mostly black. You know what I mean? Like we're still struggling to try to get more of the community come out, but because now we are working with their kids. Last year we had 6 kids in our program. This year we have 13. 4 of which were our only Spanish speaking. We have 3 only Spanish speaking. 1, 2, 3, 4 only Spanish speaking, 2 bilingual, and the rest are African American. Well, 1 white and other African American. And so with their kids being involved, because that's the way that we need to be addressing community development too. We don't have a whole lot of kids, but the kids are always the access. You get the kids involved, and then you can start to reach the parents. You know what I mean?
That's the cycling.
Yeah.
Weapon.
The old timers got burnt back in the day because they had floated a plan that was counter to the plan initially when they did the mall area on Central and Roosevelt. Okay, they had a housing and mixed. They actually went through the whole process. I think previous Alderman Carruthers was the alderman at the time. So they felt a little burnt from that process because again, they had submitted. I mean, they actually worked hard and followed the steps and all that, floated a plan.
Yeah.
And it did not happen.
Yeah, Nate brought that up today actually.
Okay.
And he does talk about, a lot of the resistance from the folks that used to run the island because of that. They feel burned, like you said.
Because I still talk to some people, and I'm glad I hear from them. They let me know what's going on. But I would like to, come over and talk to them because I still have people on property over there and everything. But like I said, I'm just only interested in how can we make a difference.
Right.
My suggestion would be we just move that survey real time because it seems like they have a genuine interest. They want to be motivated toward getting some input so they can put together a plan.
Yeah.
So it's a safety plan as well. So,
how are the block clubs over there?
No, we don't have a block club. We have a civic association. So like I said, we're still trying to get
like a block.
No, we don't have a block to block thing at all. Now when we do block club parties, it's block to block. You know what I mean? But No, the civic association is where we try to gather everybody together. Nate does a really good job of it. We flyer every single home, apartment building, try to get folks to come out and be a part of stuff. But we still working on some other strategies to get them involved too, though. You know what I mean? So cool. Yeah.
What we looking at, y'all? Got 10 minutes to go for the show. I wanted to ask somebody something, but he's just about to jump off.
Miss Jacobs on?
No, Miss Jacobs not on, but I was hoping that she would have been on. I hope she got the information I sent to her.
I was finally able to we got connected with the commander at our district council.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I talked to Zach.
Yeah. Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez. I talked to him last Friday, and we were trying to coordinate. And I said, hold on, let me get on the phone. And she told me. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we finally met Minos at the Block Club party yesterday.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
I hadn't seen him in a while.
Yeah, Mooney. That's my guy, man.
Yeah. He's getting fat. He was twerking. So he was twerking.
Oh man. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Cops get a bad rap, man, but we got some okay officers. You know, it just every time we take that one step forward with them, there's always something that they one of them do some dumb shit, and then we got to go right back. Like, come on, don't y'all understand, man?
According to Mosaic, you got one bad apple is always gonna make the whole rest of them be like that.
Yeah, I mean, life ain't, like I said, I also said life ain't fair. It is what it is. You know, one bad, like for instance, where I work at, one driver scratched the car. Now nobody get breakfast. They used to buy us breakfast every day. Chick-fil-A, sausage breakfast, biscuit with the egg and the sausage. We can't, one bag egg messed it up for everybody.
They done mess your world up, man. No more chicken for you, boy. No more chicken.
Nope, no more. None.
Hey, Mosaic.
Yo. Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, I thought I was going to see you at Dr. Ruder's celebration. So what's up, man?
Well, you know, I like to tell people I'm omnipresent. I'm always there. You know what I'm saying? When there are 7, there's 8. There's one amongst you. You just don't know it. You feel me? Jesus said that. So I was there. I knew everybody who was there. I seen everybody who was there. I know what was said and what wasn't said. I was there.
He invoked the word of our Lord Jesus Christ. Did he invoke the self-proclaimed Muslim?
Oh, well, you know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that the Bible also coincides with the Quran as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, they was all waiting in line.
And what does the Sharia say? What does Sharia say?
Sharia, if it was Sharia, we definitely wouldn't. I would love to enact some Sharia because I don't really believe in no women president. That's just me. That's just me.
Give me 3 precepts of the Sharia.
3? What you mean? Like 3 like laws?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, so in Sharia law, you're supposed to practice Ramadan. That's one of them. Women are, and this is also in the Bible, are not supposed to be able to teach anything about God. You know what I'm saying? Or any women or female pastors. And you got to pray to the east toward the Mecca, because if you pray anywhere not to the east, there your back is facing the Kaaba, which is, you know, an ancient block over there in Mecca. So yeah, I mean, listen, we will have so much order in our in Black society, and one of the most prestigious Black people in society is the Nation of Islam. There is no better group of Black people than the Nation of Islam, and y'all know that to be true. Look at Malcolm X. Look at Dr. Khalid Muhammad. You feel me? Look at Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Look at Minister Louis Farrakhan. These are all great people, you know, and they all prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, if that's how black people really could come together, and you see that you don't see too much Farrakhan. They banned Farrakhan from all social media because he got a real powerful voice. People will get behind the Minister Farrakhan. Definitely.
But the amazing thing to me is that true Islamic Muslims, they don't even recognize the nation.
Again, in all facets of, and this is the problem with us blacks. Oh, well, no, not us black. This is the problem with being black. In all facets, they take from us. Muhammad, the person who found the Quran in the mountains, he was raised by a black woman. A black woman taught him everything he knows. So, you know, we don't get a credit for a lot of things. We don't get, like, I remember Dre earlier said, oh, the white man created the electric. Hey, who? Lewis Latimer. He made the filament of the light bulb and wrote the first book on how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And made patents. But they like to take the credit from Lewis Latimer. A lot of us blacks, we don't get the credit that we deserve. You know what I'm saying? Look at the music industry. All the music industry is owned by other people that are non-black. Look at BET, owned by non-blacks. You feel me? So I mean, again,
I just want to reiterate something. There was in the Old Testament a judge by the name of Deborah who led the children of Israel. Actually, it was a couple of women. So women are allowed to lead, and we are allowed to preach, because in the New Testament, Paul actually was summoned to a church that was led by a woman. So
you got a Bible in your house? You got a Bible in your house? Okay,
yes.
Cool. Go read go get your Bible and read Timothy 1. In the New Testament. See, the New Testament oversees the Old Testament. No matter what you say, that oversees the Old Testament. So we can't go with the old. We're gonna go with the new.
So tell me what Timothy 1
says. Timothy 1 says a woman is to not be heard, to be seen, but to be seen, and she is not to be a preacher, and she is not to teach the word. I hate when I hear women teaching a word and telling people, "Oh, God, this." Hey, I don't want to hear that shit. Excuse my language, but I don't want to hear it. According to the Bible, you're not supposed to, but they overwrite that part. And if you tell especially black women, you tell a black woman, what is, yeah, but ain't no buts. Ain't no buts.
Timothy 1 says, Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ, by the command of our God and Savior of Jesus Christ, our hope. That's what it says.
Okay, I don't think you in the right scriptures, sister.
Okay, but I am familiar with what you're saying. What Paul was trying to do is he was trying to establish order. And so he told the women basically to establish order at that particular ministry. He told them not to teach, not to do anything, because it was so out of order. Particular ministry.
It's prohibited. Timothy 1 prohibits women from teaching.
No, Paul did not prohibit. Okay.
God prohibited.
You
see what you're doing right now is blasphemous. You're not supposed to be I'm a man. You can't tell me about God from a woman's perspective. You can't. What you doing is blasphemy. And the Sharia law, you will be.
Go ahead, Keon. Preach.
Okay, so what Paul was talking about was he was trying to establish order at one particular church, because the word does not contradict itself. And because it does not contradict itself, he also went to a church that was run by a woman. Now, if he's going to,
here go right here.
He gave Timothy, hold on. He gave the orders for that particular church because they were doing lewd acts and they were so out of order. And so, and it's like this thing where if you have one extreme, you have to go all the way over to the other extreme in order to establish order. And so he told them, basically, whatever your husband says, it goes. And
Okay,
so that was you see, when you're studying the Bible, you have to also study the history.
Right, fact, right. But I'm reading it right now, like verbatim. But I suffer
Okay, what
not
does it say?
a woman to teach. Suffer not a woman to teach, nor have
at that church. Yes.
Hold on, wait a minute. Ain't no, not no church.
Okay.
I suffer not a woman to teach or have authority over man, but be silent.
At that church, yes.
No, period. Look at any culture, sister. Any culture. Islam, they do not allow women to. Y'all are supposed to follow what the man say. You follow what you don't teach a man the Bible. You don't teach a man, oh, you should be God-fearing. You don't do none of that. We're not trying to hear it. Stay in your lane. And what James Brown said, don't worry about the motion of the ocean, but just be there when I get the notion. Yeah, y'all gonna have me preach tonight.
We'll just agree to disagree.
Delivered Amazon package. Keep your day job. Don't try to invoke the name of James Brown.
Everyone's entitled to their understanding
for sure
of the information before them. So let's move on and give everyone else.
Like we like in relationship. Yeah, we right at 8 too.
So thank both of you all for
Yeah. You know what? We don't talk a whole lot about the Bible and spirituality on the show, so definitely that was a good little fist the cuff between y'all that brought a different element that we're generally not used to. So.
Jacob, can you hear me? Look, Jacob, she's on. I see her. Hello, Miss Jacob. But nevertheless, we're gonna go around and ask the everlasting question that we always do. What you got to offer to us on the show as we conclude? Barry Corn, what you got? Hey, Barry.
Hey guys.
Nice, brother.
Yeah. I'm going to pass for the moment, and I'll just listen some more.
Oh, we're done. We're packing up. We're just going in conclusion, Barry.
Nah, he's got other folks to find.
Okay, go ahead. Chanel, you got anything in conclusion? Miss Jacobs, you got anything in conclusion? Ella, you got anything in conclusion?
No, it's okay. I'm just listening, and I don't agree about female servitude. I don't agree to that at all, because number one, we have so many males who's falling short. Somebody got to take over, so I don't think male is capable of being the head of too much. Certain areas, yeah. Certain areas, no. So it's a mishmash of stuff that they should be able. I wouldn't put Don Juan over nothing, and he's a man. So we got to keep stuff in perspective. So that's it.
I got you. Who's on iPhone?
So I'd like to follow up on what Ella was saying. So I don't agree with Mosaic's point of view, but the problem I really have is when I feel like Mosaic, I'll say this directly to you. I really don't like it when I get the sense that um, you're trying to impose your view on me. I would enjoy having conversations, but not, tug of wars. I just don't see any point to it. I'd rather not hear it or be part of it. And my view is more like Ella's. I think we need everyone. I think when we just have some in charge and, things can get real messed up if we don't have balance. So I'll stop there.
All right. Who's on the iPhone?
It's me, it's April. I'm just listening. Hey.
What's up, April?
I attended Tuesday, the all the police districts had and mine over here, 25th district, over here in La Folly Park, I mean, it was packed.
Yeah, it was.
Grace and Peace showed out far as giving out a bunch of stuff, everything. AutoZone gave out wonderful gifts for raffle tickets. I met our 25th commander. Also let him know about my DCOs who I knew. I mean, just let him know about. And I went and talked to one of my DCOs who was saying, April, that was a good idea. You introduce yourself to him because he is real scared. He said this is his first time ever attending an event like this where everybody come out. He's scared of that. He think it's a riot or something gonna break out. But he told me we do this every year. And the community is great. We're not bad. We're not after him or anything like that. So, but I noticed, so DeAndre, I know you probably was at the 15th over there at Moore Park. I don't know because I got a granddaughter that worked over there. She was doing the snowballs over there. She said,
different ones, yeah.
Yeah, it was packed over there. She said, but you could just tell the difference between nationality-wise, as far as more Hispanics at La Folly Park than blacks. Over there was more blacks. Over there, confrontation. They had about 2 confrontations over there. Something that police had to disrupt.
Yeah, as I was leaving, actually, there was a confrontation that a bunch of the police had to respond to. Yep.
Yeah. So. But she was saying so today. I said, because we ain't had nothing but other than 2 kids being lost, parents not keeping up with their children. But other than that, it was great.
All right. Yeah, excellent. Kiana, you got anything in conclusion?
No, I don't have anything else. This was a great show. You guys always do well. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, you got a chance to talk to the truth.
Yeah, that was great. I wish she was still on. We could exchange some information, but yeah.
She said she was just grilling me, saying, "Steve, I haven't seen it. I didn't know you guys still like we've been going strong, 4 years strong. We're gonna do our 4 years another Sunday. We're gonna change up the decor and everything. But we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna get it going. And we appreciate everybody keep coming on. Mosaic, I guess he said his piece.
I didn't. Barry, I don't appreciate you imposing Peacebrook on Black people. That's not a Black organization. That's an organization for you to look good. So you feel me? So in your legacy, you say, I did this for the West Side. I grew up on the West Side. A lot of my life, never seen Peacebrook at all, never seen a banner, never seen a flyer, never seen you. So please don't Blacks don't want Peacebrook. And I speak for Black people, and you can't say I don't because I am Black. No more Peacebrook. Don't impose that on me.
And you know where the name Peacebrook came from?
Barry Corn?
No, I gave it the name.
Oh, well, if he signed the rights over to you, I'm down with it.
They sounded right, though.
Yep.
You know,
and you get that, and you get them connections, Steve.
It's beyond this connection. It is what it is. It's the God of all gods. It is what it is. It's the way of life. It is what you make it. But as long as it's positive, we all gonna take it to that level. And it goes back to what Barry told me years ago. He said everything in our life came from a story. And in order to make things better and different, we got to change the narrative. We got to change the story. We have to be the new storytellers. And we got to tell the stories as factual as possible in a positive light so that we can move forward. But you have to be the new storyteller. And the way we do it is through Peace Brook. Because everything started from a story. Even back, you know, people hate to believe man came out of caves, but yeah, he's back to caveman days.
But we'll love it if it came from a black person. We don't want, because he go back to his people and say, yeah, look what I did for the black people. I made Peace Brook for them. Look what I did. Yeah, I did that. That's not us.
So what you saying is, if it ain't black to the fifth power, it ain't right.
If it ain't black, it ain't. I love white people. I ain't got nothing against Barry. I love Barry too. But if he signed the rights over to me, I'll promote Peace Brook.
Well, I'm gonna proclaim you a Peace Brook aficionado. As long as you do the right thing and you follow through and carry up and invoke something positive, we gonna roll with you. As long as you're on the positive tip.
Miss Jacobs.
Where's Miss Jacobs?
She still on?
I don't know. All right, keeping it 100. I guess that was the last person, Mosaic, because I can never get Miss Jacobs to respond. I'm going to have to talk to her. That's something I need to say. But go ahead, Honor. You got anything?
Well, yeah, two things. One is August the 24th is our block celebration. Approximately 40 years. We're going to shut down 4 blocks.
Yes, indeed.
And we're going to have one hell of a time in prayer, socializing, enjoying the food, and just praying for great weather, for a great turnout. We have a lot of live performances and speakers and awards we're going to give out, and just say thank you to one another and each another, and network and all that collaboration.
I hope Mr. Ricketts has some Uncle Remus chicken on the block.
Matter of fact, he celebrated his 98th birthday today.
Woo!
That's why I was a little late to come here.
That's what's up.
I'm going to give him an award because he's a patriot over there, you know, as we're walking door to door. And I got about 3 more individuals around that 100 mark. But nonetheless, I'm inviting the listeners, the callers, and the community to come out on 5300 to 5500, both Lockwood and Lotus, on Gladys, Saturday, August 24th.
Yeah, Gladys.
Yeah, Gladys. And enjoy yourself. Bring a chair, bring a tent, or bring whatever you need to.
Bring an appetite.
Yeah, or we're going to give out the food, you know.
I need you to work your magic for me. I just went and looked at a free flat over there. I need it.
What's the address?
5515.
55.
I know you know. I need it.
Yeah.
5515.
I was just on
with Murray.
Murray, yeah. Yeah, Murray, the mayor of that block.
Right.
Yeah. I'll be over there. I'm over there try to talk to him nice so I can get that property.
But yeah, come on out, enjoy yourselves. We got a bounce house, safe things for the kids. Fun and games. Just have a great time. So
you heard him, Mosaic. You got face paint for you.
And this coming Wednesday will be the 3rd meeting of the Health and Wellness, which we do every month with Dr. Hafiz concerning health. So from 6 to 8. That'll be at New Life Holiness Church, 5440 West Gladys. It'll be Zoom. But if you get in on this Zoom, you can get in on for that night. So he's got a wealth of information. From 6 to 8. So come out and join those two events. And then back on the 31st of August is the Congressman's 45th back to school.
So he got to work.
Parade and picnic. 10 o'clock.
So that's the same day, the parade, right? That's the same day the parade.
Parade 31st.
Parade on the 31st.
Block Club 24.
Okay, I got you.
And I made sure we didn't have a conflict in schedule.
Okay.
Because we want the community to come out. He's got a whole lot of stuff planned for the community.
All right. Sounds like a
So
plan.
that's my 3 announcements.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank everybody for coming on today. We had a very interesting conversation. We did span the whole gamut of things. We went all the way down to big old state of Texas and had a few people down there that have actually engaged in our conversation. And it's very interesting to know how they actually feel. And, you know, Chicago is a big metropolis, but Texas is a big state. And it seems to me that multiple things happen in Texas on different corners of the state. So, hey, it is what it is. But again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming on. What about yourself, DeAndre? You want to
let me say this. I'll be bringing vegetables from our good and plenty garden that we're harvesting now, and we're feeding families.
Right.
And you
You
guys
see that?
are blessed. Yeah.
See that?
Show
See that big old cucumber?
Show the
Oh yeah,
potatoes
got the
and the peppers. So everybody just
There you go. Put that one in for the pickle jar.
organic, natural.
Pickle it up with some
Red. Look at them red. Look at them
vinegar and
peppers.
garlic.
yeah, look
That
real good.
regenerative soil we use.
And these took how long to
Oh man, about a month.
bloom? Just a month.
And next
Crazy.
Sunday, I'm gonna bring what we call a bugle squash. You guys not gonna believe it. I mean, that squash will grow.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna bring it next Sunday, and for the callers, I'll leave my information after you look at the vegetables, and then we can get it.
So y'all had to eat off the land. I harvested
land.
I harvested carrots, beans, and cucumber this year, and kale.
I gave a
And
lot of
Harambe.
We had about
Harambe
20
garden.
kids in the garden yesterday doing space on the mosaic tiles and all that. So anyway.
All right.
Yeah. For me, so August 15th, couple days from now, we're going to be at 5851 West Madison at the Front Porch Arts Center. We're doing a cannabis know your rights workshop. So we will have the state's attorney, the Westside Justice Center, and Cannabis Equity Illinois come out and talk about decriminalization and what that means financially, socially, and legally. We will do that from 5:30 to 7:30, 5851 West Madison on August 15th. The other thing that is upcoming is what else I wanted to mention? I think that was it actually. I do want to say this little quote that I see again on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. And I think
Elon Musk on Twitter.
yeah, he on Twitter, yeah. So it says, the quote says that hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create hard times. The unfortunate is that in that cycle, that's what we are currently. There are a bunch of weak men, and they're creating very hard times for us, whether that's socially, politically, economically, and whatever other fabric you want to look at. And so what we need to do is elevate our men that are strong, that are willing to be resistant, if you will, and then pair them with a strong woman that is also willing to support that brother in what he is trying to accomplish. Because I know we in this time of female empowerment, but we also need our men. If women going to war just don't sit right with. Women doing a whole lot of things in leadership in which men should be natural leaders don't sit well with me. And I don't know, it's okay, but it's not right. And we need to figure out, when we talk about balance, we need to have both to be a nation. And we're losing sight of what this nation looks like because We got a lot of weak men. So my hope is that we can start to build our men in the way that they need to be so that they can find and restore the way this nation used to be. And it used to be means just like have a lot of potential for all of us. I ain't talking about make America great. I just mean like the potential of America for everybody to come and benefit from it. It takes a village. Yeah. So with that said, you know how we do between the hours of 6 and 8 on Sundays. You know, we bring in Northwest Austin Council. We got various ways you can interact with our show. Facebook, YouTube, or the Zoom. You choose the medium in which you want to interact with us with. If you're on the YouTube or the Facebook, you type your comment in the question section or the comment section, if you will. We'll see it. We'll bring it up right on the screen. We interact with you that way. If you're on the Zoom, you come right off mute. You know, keep it respectful. You know, we're going to have to mute you and or boot you. Otherwise, you know, keep sharing the show. Let folks know what we're doing. Moving on to 4 years, we're going to change the layout, have a new presentation for y'all, make it a little bit more friendly for guests and things like that, because we want to definitely keep reinvigorating the show and making it new and fresh as long as we bringing in new guests. So share the show, share the show, share the show. With that being said, I always like to say in closing, we got open seats at the table. We're trying to welcome y'all on home. Thank y'all for allowing us to welcome you to Northwest Austin Council. Y'all have a good night.
Later, y'all. Night. Night out.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah.